Hello my fellow freedom builders and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about the company called Coinbase, and the reason why I'm making this is that I've gotten a couple of requests. We have done some Tesla, some Palantir, and I got some requests to do more of these, you could say ARK related stocks. Now, as you know, Tesla at least used to be the largest position in the ARKK Invest, you know, Katie Wood and all that stuff. But now it has gone down to a second place, and that is of course partially due to Tesla going down in value. ARK might have sold a bit out, I'm not even sure about that. But a new number one is COIN, coin, meaning Coinbase. They now have a weight of 8.11%, $628 million worth in ARK Invest. So it is quite a reasonable position they have in coin. So let's have a look at it. First of all, when we look at Coinbase here on a weekly chart, you can see that from the beginning here, they were up in $430. Went down to 200, went up to 370, went down to 34-ish, went up to 180 and down again to 117 so far. Now, this is a roller coaster if there ever was one. But is it a good investment? Let's have a look at it. When we start out in Mystockscanner here, we can see that the earnings quality is quite bad. The value is not especially good. The momentum is good and the overall stock score is at 35. Now, looking at the numbers, it is a bit, I guess you could say, strange, because the quality of the earning right now, return on capital, return on equity, that is appalling. Operating margin negative. And looking at the numbers over here, you can actually see that they had a couple of years here in 20 and 21 with some very good profits. Then in 22 there was a negative. Now our analyst or our system here with data, they haven't provided us with anything here. But if we just look in here, we can see that the overall estimates, you can see here a net income of minus $2.6 billion in 22, and then in 23 estimated minus 177, minus 35, minus 34. This is not something that is going to be a good business just right now. But you might ask yourself, what are they doing? How can they go from a net income of 3.6 billion to a negative of 2.6 billion? And there are a lot of explanations to that. But if you look at what is Coinbase, they are describing themselves here. We make buying and selling crypto easy, sending or receiving crypto between online crypto balances, friends or merchant on Coinbase is free. We handle security and backup so you don't have to worry. We are a one-stop shop. We offer our primary balance services and exchange and merchant tools within one simple interface, and so on and so forth. They have different products in here and they can make money in different ways. But basically, it is all about crypto. It is about online payment. It is about trading the crypto. It is about storing the crypto. And you get the explanation partially here, at least. Because looking at the Coinbase ups and downs here, you can have a look at this comparison. Here we have Coinbase on the top. And we have Bitcoin, which is the largest of the cryptos, and at least one of the the most well-known here. And if you look at this, we have, I have just teamed up here, so we have May 21 at the starting here, and we have the beginning of 24 here, so this is aligned. So you can see we had a top and a top, bottom, bottom, top, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, and you know, I could go on and on and on here. This is an almost one-to-one correlation. That means that Coinbase is basically following the crypto market. And if we're looking at this old article here I found, this is from February 2022, so 2 years old. They are reporting on some earnings. And Coinbase warned shareholders during the previous quarter that its stock should be considered a long-term investment because of its business is volatile. Well, that would be an understatement, wouldn't it? So if we're looking at it here, they are actually talking about going down here. Let's just see where it is. Here we go. It says here, on the company's call with analysts, CEO Brian Armstrong shut down the idea that the sector could be entering a new crypto winter. So he didn't believe in this, which is essentially a bear market. Armstrong said that's because of the change in significant use cases of cryptocurrencies, which will make for a different result than earlier cycles of crypto winters and summers. What he's basically saying here is that it's not going to be, he shut down the idea that the sector could be entering a crypto winter, but he is acknowledging that the volatile market could definitely do some harm to Coinbase earnings. They're also talking about some more macroeconomics here. Coinbase warned shareholders in the previous quarter that its stock could be, that was a volatile part here. They're naming the Russian invasion in Ukraine and so on so forth here. So basically what they're saying is that they could, and this is 2 years ago, they could be entering a bit of a more difficult market. And looking at the numbers here, that is definitely the case. They went from making a lot of money to losing a lot of money. And now the good question is, could it go up again? And yes, of course it could. If Bitcoin keeps going up and the entire crypto market gets into a bull market again for real, and if we get to a place where the entire scenario around crypto is a bit more positive, because what you should remember is that back here, let's just scroll back a bit here. This was the big first serious run up in crypto and Bitcoin, where it entered almost 20,000. Then it went down a lot. People called it dead. It went up. It went down. People called it dead. It went completely parabolic. People said it could cost $1 million or $1 billion, and then it went down. So Bitcoin had been on a roller coaster itself. So what we have seen is that several crypto exchanges have gone bankrupt. One of them, the FTX, was you could say was one big fraud, one big scheme. And the CEO and several of the people behind are now being prosecuted. But what you can say is that we need a bit more of a positive outlook for crypto overall. We were at a point back here where everyone talked about crypto. Everyone owned some crypto, and it was just a thing where crypto was something everyone talked about. That is not the case anymore, at least not the people I talk to. There might be special forums, there might be Facebook groups and Instagram accounts and YouTube channels, but it's not the talk of the town anymore. And you could wonder if Coinbase can go up to earlier prices in the stock without the market being hyped. That is a good question. And I would say, and this is just my opinion, you're welcome to have a completely other opinion, but my strategy when I invest is that I start by finding companies that make money, that have been making money for a while, and that have a steady growth. I am not into these sort of stocks. I'm not into stocks that make 300 million, 3.6 billion, minus 2.6 billion, and so on and so forth. That is simply too volatile. Now, you might have a portfolio where you're completely different, but it is important for you that you make up your mind as to what sort of investor you are. Are you an investor a bit like me that want a good steady business making money and then looking at some technicals to see if we can time it, but overall we do like the solid stocks that are just grinding along, making money, making a bit more money every year, where we know what we get? We are not going to make 100 or 500 or 1,000% on many of these stocks. It is a lot less volatile. However, on a stock like Coinbase, it is possible that you can make 1,000% or 10,000%, but it is a bit of a lottery ticket if you ask me, because if you are looking at crypto prices and you can see an almost 1-to-1 here, then and you want to be exposed towards some cryptocurrencies, some Bitcoin, so on, well then Coinbase might be the place to be. You could also say that instead of going into Coinbase, you wanted to zoom out a bit and have a look at ARK Invest, because when we're looking at ARK Invest, just knowing that Coinbase is at about 8% weight here, then we can see that just being, let's say that was a steady percentage just to make it easy, then the rise here from end October until New Year here at 170%, well, if they have 8% of the entire weight in ARK Invest, then this is what, roughly 13-14% of the entire move we have seen in ARKK. That is just this move from Coinbase. So if you want to be exposed for towards cryptos, maybe some Coinbase, well, then you might consider doing some ARKK instead and saying, okay, ARKK from here to here, they went up 60%, so 1/4 of the entire rise in ARK Invest, or at least the ARKK Invest here, they went up 60%. Now, from the weighting and from the movement in Coinbase, then this move, 1/4 of this move, is actually due to the movement in Coinbase. So if you wanted to put your money towards these a bit more speculative investments, a bit more volatile thing, and you want several exposures to these, then you could consider ARK Invest. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm not a big fan of ARK Invest myself, but it's just to say that instead of just putting all your money in Coinbase, if that was your plan, I hope it wasn't, that would be a bit of a risky business, then you might consider going with ARK Invest or something else like it instead. Now, if we go into the TPI chart and we see, would this be the time to buy? Well, you can see on the long-term TPI trend here, we are in a good green uptrend, and we have been it since coin was about 84 back here. Then it went up, it doubled, and then it was cut down again. But all the way, we have actually been in a long-term green uptrend. Now, as you know, the weekly trend here, that is where I often find my candidates to buy, and you can see we are in a green zone here, and we are actually in a green zone and being oversold, accumulative phase at the same time, and that is actually a reasonable good place to be. If we look at a bit more detailed chart here, if we're looking at the weekly chart, we can see something that I actually like from a technical point of view. If you have followed my videos, you know that I'm talking about these downtrends here. At some point, they start to level out, so they fall a bit more, a bit less drastically, and then they start to turn around, making new higher bottoms, and they make even new higher highs, accelerating highs. And this one, if this is a new high, then we can see this rounding bottom, and that is actually something I like from a technical point of view. We can also see that we have had a couple of quite solid tops here that we can draw in as an area, and this is exactly where we are right now. Now, it is always possible to draw whatever you want in a chart, and if you are bullish, and okay, this would be a fantastic scenario. What I would probably do if I were to enter in a stock like Coinbase is I would look for some sort of this bull flag here, meaning an intermediate trend down, and then look for a shot up here. Now, we have earnings just coming out in a few days here. When is that? That is the 15th of February. That is in about a week. So you might want to wait until you see what this is. But as we have seen with Palantir and several of these other bit more volatile stocks, then they are shooting up on earnings. So you might want to take, if you want to get into Coinbase, I'm not advising you to in any way, but if you want to get in, you might want to take maybe half a position now and then half a position after earnings or something like that. That is entirely up to you, to your risk profile and all of that. And remember, I'm not recommending Coinbase. This is absolutely not a stock I would be comfortable having in my portfolio, or I would have a very, very small, maybe 1/4% of my entire portfolio, 0.5% or something like that, simply just to have a bit of fun and have a lottery ticket. So is Coinbase going to be a good business case? Well, if you are watching a lot of YouTube channels and Instagram accounts, then you can definitely see a lot of to the moon rhetoric about Coinbase. And it is possible because there are some interesting aspects of it. Just remember that you are basically just buying an exposure towards the crypto market in an almost one-to-one. However, as you can see here, crypto since the bottom back in 22 went up 208%, not crypto but Bitcoin. And if we're looking at the same rise in coin here, then that actually went up almost 500%. So you could say that Coinbase is even crypto just on speed. It is with a higher beta actually than Bitcoin itself, which is actually an even crazier thing. So what can we say about it? Well, not much. You can watch all sorts of analysis all day long on YouTube and find analyst papers. The fact is that no one knows where it's going. However, if crypto is going to the moon or just halfway to the moon, if Bitcoin is going up from the current level, which is very bullish, at 43,600, if that is going to 100,000, and that is not impossible at all, then you will probably also see a very big rise in Coinbase, maybe even more than doubling of the price. And that means we could see a price up in 240, maybe 300, maybe coming up testing these earlier highs. For ARK Invest and Katie Woods, I hope so, and for all the investors, of course. But again, this is not my way of investing, so I would personally not go for it. But if any of you are a bit more risky, well, then have a look at it and decide for yourself. That's all for now. I hope it made sense, and I'll speak to you again shortly. Take care of yourself and your money. Bye.